Greetings, sports fans, and welcome to the latest edition of the Emporia Sports Buzz.
You found the high school edition.
And you found it really quick because we're going to get this intro done really fast. We got a lot to talk about. This is Jesse Newell, Gazette sports reporter, joined alongside, as I always am, by Michael, the man, the myth, the legend, Ashford. Michael, say hi to everybody out there.
Taking a few deep breaths. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's get on it.
Let's get going. The Emporia High girls win the Glacier's Edge tournament, take a little dip in the Emporia High pool. Good weekend for them, Mike. They go 3-0, beat Shawnee Heights in the championship. A very good week for the Lady Spartans.
Did it in kind of dramatic fashion, too, in that championship game against Shawnee Heights. Get out to a 15-1 lead after the first quarter. Looked like they're just going to steamroll Shawnee Heights, which is a very good team. Came in 9-2, I believe. And had to hold on real late there. Shawnee Heights got it down to within 2 points late on back-to-back three-pointers. And but the Lady Spartans behind the play of Sadie Webb really get the job done. Sadie hits a couple free throws there late to kind of ice the deal. But the second year in a row that the Lady Spartans have won the Glacier's Edge, and that hasn't happened in a long time. I don't even know how long that's happened. So definitely a big win for the Lady Spartans. Let's not forget, this team is now 11-2. Their only two losses are to two top 10 ranked teams in Class 6A. Lady Spartans are a fantastic basketball team and proved it again this week.
I'm really impressed by their depth right now because they got contributions throughout the tournament from different people. You had Sadie Webb in the last game, obviously Alexia Heilman, and the game I went to, Hillary Heinrich stepped up big time off the bench. Even Ashley Leasing, she comes off the bench and gives them great minutes. This team has the depth and has a different player step up, it seems, every night. So they really look like they have enough to make a run late into the postseason if they can get all their pieces working, or at least some pieces working at the right time.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one thing that Bill Sneinstedt has been able to count on all year is quality play from his starters throughout his bench, and it's definitely showing for the Lady Spartans. Speaking of runs, the Emporia High boys are on a nice run right now. They won 5 in a row and coming off a win on Friday over rival Washburn Rule in Topeka. And, the Spartans just keep getting it done with switching things up on offense, taking teams out of what they want to do when they're on defense. The Spartans are on a roll right now, and Troy Pierce, the last few minutes of that game, stepped up. He was a man.
You beat me to it. We've talked with Troy before, and he's a big guy, but he's not exactly the, demanding type, the guy to go out there and say, hey, do this, do that. But it sounds like in that game, Mike, he was the guy that said, give me the ball, I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to win this game for you. And then sure enough, he did it.
Well, Emporia High had fallen behind by 1 point after getting out to about a 10 to 12 point lead. Washburn Rule had actually come from behind and taken the lead by 1 point. 3 straight times down the court, Troy Pierce says, give me the ball. He sticks his hand up in the air and says, right here. And 3 straight times he scores a basket for the Spartans. They go on to win. And that's what the Spartans need to see out of him. They have all the rest of the pieces. They've got 2 excellent guards in Kadrick Bloomquist and Taylor Euler, who are lighting it up right now. And then they just need the surrounding cast to play their roles. This is going to be a good basketball team, hitting its stride.
It proves that in high school, you start off from a bad start and you play well at the end. I mean, if they can get a roll into sub-state, your season is defined by the end of the season. The Emporia High boys have a great chance to have a good end of the season. Let's wrap up Emporia High really quick. I know the wrestlers finished 10th, but I want to talk about Derek Krause. He breaks the diving record and thinks of unicorns and rainbows, I guess. So talk about him real quick.
Pink unicorns and rainbows apparently help break school records. That's what Derek Krause told me he was thinking of when he broke the school record for the 11 dive competition up at Emporia High this last weekend. I really don't know what else to say about that.
There's nothing more.
Quite perhaps the most interesting thing I've heard of somebody thinking about. So
there's nothing more out there. There's nothing more to say about it. I do want to say that in clutch situations, I think I'm going to try it. It might work. Maybe I'll try green leprechauns and Fruit Loops or something. But hey, as long as it works for him,
Absolutely.
Whatever. Breaks Matt Paul's old record set a couple years back, but beats it by 6 points, and he is only having to look up right now because he's improving his scores and he can give the Emporia High swimming team a boost at the end of the season. Let's talk about Lyon County League Tournament, Mike. We've been waiting for it. This is what we want to talk about here. Let's talk about the Madison boys right now because we talked beforehand. We said a lot of the top teams are about the same in the boys' side. Madison proves it this week. They knock off the top seed Olpe, and then they hang on against Marinocene Valley. A great run for Madison. We called them the heart attacks in the paper, Mike. they weren't the heart attacks this week. They held on to their leads. That was really the difference for them.
Outside of the first round game against Lebo, when they had a nice lead, Lebo kind of came back on Madison, and then Madison closed out the game by free throw shooting. Outside of that game, Madison really got a lead and hung on to it throughout the entire tournament. That includes handing Olpe its first loss of the season in the semifinals, and then just hitting clutch after clutch shot. Especially Eric Porter in the championship game against the second seed Maritime Valley. I am so impressed with the way Eric Porter played in this tournament. He was fantastic. 15 points against Lebo, 27 against Olpe, and then another 18 in the championship game. Just a fantastic all-around performance by this kid. Great to talk with. He is a big reason why the Madison Bulldogs won that tournament.
We can't overlook Caleb Shanky inside. Obviously,
Absolutely.
he's a big force inside, but couldn't happen to a nice guy. Alan Brown, a coach from Madison, he calls us every week one of the best guys in the league to deal with, and I could tell he was just ecstatic with his team winning this victory. It's been 30 years for Madison to get this trophy, and I loved Eric Porter afterwards. He wouldn't let go of the trophy. He said, "Baby, it's been 30 years. It's been 30 years. Who knows if it'll be a 30 and more years?" But right now, it feels great for the Madison Bulldogs.
Absolutely. I mean, those kids, they put together 3 very, very nice games, and look to have put the 24-point comeback by Olpe earlier in the season. They look to have put that behind them and are really starting to look like the talented, the maybe front runner that they were expected to be early on in this season.
Let's talk about the girls' side. Let's switch over to the
front runners.
I was just saying, the Olpe girls who haven't lost in the conference and are in the league in a long, long time. They roll right through the Lyon County Girls Tournament. Kind of a yawner in the championship game, which, I mean, can credit Olpe with that. They went 50-37 over Linden, but that game, I mean, the first game they played at Linden was an overtime game. Linden had a shot to win it at the end. Olpe pretty much took them out of it. Very good shooting and a big-time performance by Haig for Olpe. 14 points, 13 rebounds. She has one fewer rebound than Linden's entire team. I'll tell you what, Mike, I expected more energy from that game, and Olpe just kind of sucked the energy right out of it, I think.
Olpe did what it does best, and that's just take teams out of what they want to do and just steamroll from there. I mean, you're right, Kylie Haig, in the absence of Megan Woods, who was in foul trouble, just steps up and said, "Hey, I'm going to lead this team." She did it, not on layups, but there were a few nice shots from the outside, just inside the three-point line, that she just buried. And Linden had absolutely no answer for her. And the freshman Catherine Flott. I do want to say Stephanie Getz is a player for Linden.
Absolutely.
And I really enjoyed watching her play throughout the tournament. The Linden girls are very good and have a chance to make some noise, but Olpe, we were talking after that game. It's hard to see this team losing. With the weapons that they have, with the depth that they have, it's hard to see the Lady Eagles losing.
And like you said, so many weapons, Woods, Flott, Erica Brinkman really steps up for them, Kylie Haig, Katie Moyer, and we're not even mentioning her, and she's probably, their second or third best player. So a lot of weapons for Jessie Nelson down at Olpe. Of course, we could say that pretty much any year, but a good run for them. When you're mentioning very good players I'm being impressed by, I do want to mention Dennis Becker on the boys' side from Maritime Valley. He makes them tick, and he really pretty much carried them to the championship and to the second place finish in the league this year. So a very good tournament for him, a very good year for him, and congratulations to all those athletes. It was a very entertaining tournament to watch. Now I'm just going to catch up on my sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all need a few days rest here. I don't think we're going to get it, but we certainly need it.
Speaking of rest, I think we're going to give you guys about a, 180-hour rest from us. We're going to get into next week. For Jesse Newell, Gazette sports reporter, and Michael Ashford, the man, the myth, the legend, we're going to sign off for the Emporia Sports Buzz. Before we go, Mike, we need some advice for all those kids out there.
Lay off the steroids and HGH. It's nothing but bad news.
It's not good for you, brother. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.